What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, that guy named Jay, checking in. Coming back at you with another video, man. From the den, second living room, sun room, whatever you want to call this shit. Woo-wee! Anyways, so it's gonna be a serious video. I know most of my videos are serious, but we're just gonna get straight to it. Did King Drodge, who was supposed to be my friend, who's supposed to be my boy, who's supposed to be my homie, sell me a dream? Did he mislead me? Did he, put me in a bad situation? I see a lot of people saying that, and granted, I do agree in some extent that it's a lot of YouTubers out here who are selling dreams, who are not putting out all the information as to how and why they are where they are. They do it for just clickbait or viewership or whatever their agenda is. It's people who believe that is what Drodge was doing with me, either because he just wanted me to drive for him, or I was just being sold the dream and not getting all the information. And if I'm being honest, man, if I'm being 100% honest, 1,000% honest, if I'm not holding back anything, even based off of conversations that we have had on the phone, because we talk every day. Well, we were talking every day. Only reason we don't talk every day now is just for whatever reason when we at the crib, it just be so much going on. But I'm gonna do my best to change that, because I do miss those conversations. Everybody needs that one person in their life that's gonna tell you what it is, whether you want to hear it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just need that person. You know what I'm saying? You may not always want to hear what they have to say, but you definitely need to hear it. But that's no here nor there. Drodge, when you watch this video, hit me up, nigga, or I'm gonna hit you up. Whatever. Anyways, that was a little sidebar joke or whatever. No, I do not feel like he sold me a dream. No, I do not feel like it is his fault. Because when I hear people say that, I feel like they're trying to say that it is his fault that I am not yet where I want to be. And that's not true. I am, in fact, where I am solely because of me. 100% because of me. Because of my inconsistencies, because of my emotions, because of I have this bad habit of trying to live my entire life in a day, or trying to do something that requires a long-term commitment in a short period of time. So because of that, I find myself in situations where I watch what someone else has done, and before I even start to ask what all it took to get there, I automatically want to do it, and I want it to happen quickly. Like a microwave mindset. I want the same taste that you get when you put something in a smoker, or you put something in a crock pot, or on a grill. I want that same flavor in something that's going to microwave in 45 seconds. And it just does not work like that. It just does not. And what I realized with Drodge's situation, him being a fleet owner, having the situation that he has, he put in time for that. He's been at Stevens for 3 years, one trucking company, where everyone else has had at least 2 or 3. Everyone. With the exception of no one. I don't know any other YouTube trucker who has not switched companies at least once. And don't get me wrong, this is not about to be a Drodge dick sucking video. It's just not. But I'm using that to make a point. The point is that he put in the time, effort, energy, blood, sweat, and tears where he is, which is why he is as successful as he is now. What I have done is I have bounced around. I've been inconsistent. I've made all these different moves. But yeah, I guess I was still expecting to be there. And I could have been there. Maybe not with all the truck that he have. But if I'd have stayed at Swift all this time, since I started Swift in 2016 in December. This is 2018 December. Had I stayed at Swift for those full 2 years, I could very well have at least 3 trucks right now. And that is a fact. No cap. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't believe I was sold a dream. I believe I was shown a plan based on what he wanted to do. And I was given the blueprints on how to execute that plan. And I simply did not follow through. For what reasons? I don't know. Maybe, that's just not my lane. The biggest thing that me and D-Rise go back and forth about is being home and being on the road. I just want to be home. I do. Every time that I've went on the road and I try to make it seem like OT, I be more so trying to convince myself than anything. And you can tell by the videos that I make, the shit that I be saying. You can always tell when someone is trying to a little too hard. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended, to party hard. But you can always tell when someone is trying a little too hard to convince you of something. And I just feel like that's what that was. I mean, when I look at my trucking career thus far, the longest company I've been with was Swift, but I only feel like it was Swift because when I went to Swift, again, I didn't have a year experience. I didn't. And once I started leasing, again, because I was following the trend that is still going. I was just talking to my man, JMV, through text message the other day, that owner-operator, lease-operator, fleet owner has become a trend. I think that it's more people out here doing it just because of everyone else doing it versus people that are doing it just because that's what they really want to do. Because 9 times, I promise you, most people when they came into trucking was not thinking about owning a truck. Most people came into trucking for a career, for money, but they just didn't know fully about owner-operator, lease-operator. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm not going to get on that subject. But back to the point. I went to Swift. I started leasing. And then the biggest thing at that point was just me trying to stack money for Myrtle Beach. I knew I wanted to take my family to Myrtle Beach for that family reunion. Had Myrtle Beach not been on my mind, as soon as I got a year experience, I probably would have. I wouldn't have waited till a year because I didn't want to touch no boxes. I really did not want to touch any boxes. So that's one thing I've been consistent about in my trucking career is not touching no boxes. But once I got to a point where I think it was 18 months. Yeah, I think I said this before. 18 months, and I found the position in the port, which is the same position I'm back at now. I was out of there, man. And if you look at my trucking career from leaving Trans Am to going to Abilene, going back to Swift, or going to Swift, leaving Swift, going to the port, and then going back to Swift, leaving Swift again and going to MBI. My entire trucking career, even if you go in order from CRST to Trans Am to Abilene to Swift to the port, to Swift to the port, to Swift to MBI to the elite truck lines, now back home. All my trucking career has been is a battle between local or home more and home not as much. That's all my trucking career has been. When you look at the meat and potatoes of it, it has been a battle of me wanting to do what I really wanted to do, which is be home, versus me doing what others have told me they feel is better for me, which is being on the road. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all it is. So when people ask me, do I feel like D-Rod sold me a dream? Nah, I just feel like he feels confident about what he's doing, rightfully so. So therefore, if you're feeling great, it's no different than when I try to tell all my friends and family and associates in the 757 about truck driving. It's just like, yo, this is working out great for me. You should do this too. I want you to succeed like I am. One, because now you don't have to ask me for money anymore. If I teach you how to fish, I don't got to keep fishing for you. That's all it is. So I'm not mad at it at all. And I appreciate it. But I just feel like for me, I've always wanted to be home. I've always wanted to be home. I've gone back and forth with Trucker Brown, and I've gone back and forth with, maybe not as heavily with D-Rod as I have with Trucker Brown, at least not on a public platform. Phone conversations are different, but this is just what I've always done. You know what I mean? So I can't for one instant try to say that me saying that D-Rod sold me a dream, or even going back to Trucker Brown sold me a dream, is taking responsibility of my actions off of me and trying to put it on them. That's a coward move. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. And I feel like the people who are trying to get me to say that, maybe they have an agenda or they have a way that they feel about D-Rod, but you're not going to make me feel that way towards him. Our friendship is too authentic in real life, not just on social media, but in real life that's not even no. If we ever have a falling out, this will be the last reason because of that. You know what I'm saying? Unless he steal my content or vice versa, and then we got to square up, run the fade. But besides that, you're just not going to do it, man. So if you could kindly get out of my comments with that foolishness, I'd appreciate it, man. Nobody sold me anything. They just simply showed me what was working so well for them. I just didn't put in that same energy, commitment, and time into it like they did. Which is another reason why Abilene probably didn't work for me. Because I didn't put in the time, energy, and commitment that Party Hard did. I was lazy at Abilene. I'll admit it. He was hustling. Now, granted, we both end up leaving, but for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? So, it's the same way where I feel about when people be talking shit about Swift. Like, no. Swift ain't never do me dirt. The only reason I left Swift was because, again, I wanted to be home. So that's what it is, man. No dreams were sold. No dreams were purchased. The most I will say is that maybe I was just trying to do something that truly wasn't for me. Because besides being at Swift, I was at Swift from December of 2016. I left, I think that was July. So December to January, February, March, April, May, June. Really, that was 6 months. 7 months. And then I went to the port, and then I came back to Swift for a month. Then I went back to the port, and then came back to Swift for, I think I went back around December of last year. I went back and stayed until February when my brother died. So, big picture, really, I stayed at Swift over a year and some change collectively. But if you're talking about one long stretch, because I was an NBI from what? February, so March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I I was at MBI for 8 months. So my longest stretch of employment in trucking has been local. Now, the most money I've made is definitely 100% Swift. 100%. But I guess the place that I enjoyed or stayed at or liked the most, based off of the length of time I was there consecutively, was MBI, which was a local gig. So do with that as you will, man. I know that tells me that I've been trying to walk in shoes that don't fit. I have. And there's other things that go into that, and we'll continue to get into that in future videos. You know, personal things and things to that effect, life-changing things that are about to happen, and things to that effect. But you know, that's the meat and potatoes of it all. Someone said in a comment, "You can't make good money and be home." I disagree, because I've done it. But then again, I guess that goes to your definition of what good money is. But my man Brandon said it best on Facebook. Not all owner-operators got a bunch of money, and not all company drivers are broke. Call it what you want. Sound like facts to me, though. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a flip-flop looking for a home. And this one looked pretty nice, you know what I mean? But as always, stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. God Family Trucking. Salute to all the haters. You're greatly appreciated. Gone.